new areas of consciousness, of new areas of conscious awareness can be developed beyond the current conscious comprehension of the self. With courage, fortitude, and perseverance, the previously experienced boundaries can be crossed into new territories of subjective awareness and experience. New knowledge, new problems, new puzzles are found in the innermost explorations. Some of these areas may seem to transcend the operations of the mind-brain computer itself. In these areas, there may be a need for the metacomputer mappings. But first, the evasions constructed by the computer itself must be found, recognized, and reprogrammed. All right, evasions. This is a big concept. We're not gonna. This is not the only time we're going to talk about it.
No, it isn't.
What's he lining up for us here?
Well, here's the thing: is that we have lots and lots and lots of excuses for not being honest with ourselves.
We sure do.
and essentially, what he's saying here is he's saying that those are all evasions, although he's not really saying that clearly in this particular assumption. Because if you go back and you think about why does he say with courage, fortitude, and perseverance, the previously experienced boundaries can be crossed into new territories of subjective awareness.
Yeah.
Because to be aware of something at times requires a fair amount of fearlessness, I would say. And I think that well, there's any number of reasons for that to exist. One of them is that when you cross those boundaries, you're in unknown territory.
Yep.
It's like when you float. When you first start to float, it's like you go to the float space in your mind, right? You don't see that as being a normal place in your thinking. You see that as a special condition. And after a while, though, you spend enough time there floating, and it's like you say, well, gee, this isn't a special place. This is a regular place. And you have to develop different ways of thinking. You have to different ways of speaking. You have to think about speech differently. You have to think about listening differently. And that requires both courage and fortitude, I think, as well as perseverance. But I think that's something that he's talking about, because we make all kinds of excuses for why it is we can't go there. We say, well, I don't want to make anybody angry. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want anybody to feel bad. Well, those are all evasions for me. I don't give a damn about how somebody else feels. I may tell you that, but that in reality, I don't. I don't think anybody really does, unless it is that they're afraid that somebody's going to say something bad to them. Then
right. So they're actually guarding their own feelings. Really, is what they're doing.
Yeah, that's why Lily's calling this an evasion, because we construct these evasions. We have to find them and recognize them and reprogram them. Another form of that evasion is that when you're rewriting a program. The other day I was helping somebody rewrite a program, and they used the word nourishment, and well, nourishment to them meant that they protect somebody that they quote unquote love, and that's not nourishment. That's something else. And so what they had to change it to was something like finding out. Okay, because they had to find out what was really going on, rather than saying, okay, well, I'm going to nourish this person so that they get along better in the world. You can't. Oh, wow. You can support them and so forth, but nourishing them to say, okay, well, you're still a little kid. I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's kind of a nasty thing.
Wow.
Really.
So they were actually using this charisma of nourishment to evade basically what was going on for them.
Right. Evade finding out. They didn't want to find out anything.
Right. Right.
So, but these are subjective awarenesses. In other words, what he's talking about is he's saying, okay, look, to understand your programming, metaprogramming, and self-metaprogramming, all of that is not conscious. None of it's conscious. Yeah, that's all subjective or other than conscious. It's not objective, it's subjective. And so to say, okay, we want to have this subjective awareness and this subjective experience means that we're going to delve into those places that are not normally conscious. That we're not
we're
normally
talking
aware
about
of.
inner space here, to be clear, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
very
that's right.
definitive place
The
that needs
internal
directing.
reality.
Right, yes.
Yeah, the internal reality, not the external reality. He's saying, okay, this is something that you have to do for yourself, and you have to get into how you think about it. Why do I believe this thing? Why do I use that particular meta program? It's not really necessarily an emotion, but I've got this thing here that controls, that just shows up all over the place, right?